Good afternoon, everybody. This Board of Trustees reconvene the Paris Union High School District Board meeting at 5:35 p.m. We are going to have the Pledge of Allegiance, and if you please stand. And after that, we are going to have a few minutes of silence as part of the invocation. You please place your right hand over your heart. Let's begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please stay. We are going to the invocation. If we can, we are going to have a few minutes of silence, a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Please be seated. Our next item is 7.1, information item, and this Board of Trustees of the Paris Union High School District, we are going to take a recess to conduct the regular board meeting of the California Military Institute. Item 10.1 is a information item, is the discipline report for the month of April of 2018. 11.1, invitation to address the Board of Trustees on agendized and non-agendized items. We don't have any takers today. 12.1 is an action item, is our consent calendar. Do I have a motion? So moved. Trustee Nellison and Trustee Stauffer. Please vote. The consent calendar has been approved, 5-0. 13.1 is also an action item, personnel, approval of resolution 4/1718, layoff of certificated employees. Do I have a motion? Trustee Nellison, Trustee Twyman. Please vote. Action item 13.1, personnel, has been approved. 4 and 1, let me see, the yellow is abstention. Yes, 4 in favor, 1 abstention. Thank you. Next item, 13.2, is also a personnel item. California Military Institute 2018-2019 and 2019-2020 student teacher calendars. Do I have a motion? Trustee Garcia and Trustee Twyman. Please vote. Action item 13.2 has been approved, 5-0. 13.3 is personnel. Action item also is the approval of Memorandum of Understanding between the California Military Institute Charter and the California Military Institute Teachers Association, CMITA, regarding health and welfare benefits. Do I have a motion? Trustee Garcia? Trustee Nellison? Please vote. Action item 13.3 has been approved, 5-0. 13.4 is also an action item, curriculum, 17-18 Safe Schools Plan Annual Update. Do I have a motion? Trustee Stafford, Trustee Twyman, please vote. (13.4) has been approved, 5-0. 13.5 is also an action item related to the business department, approval of renewal of California Military Institute charter school petition. Do I have a motion? Trustee Stafford and Trustee Nellison, please vote. Action item 13.5 has been approved, 5-0. 13.6 is also an action item related to the business department, approval of health and welfare benefit increase for California Military Institute classified employees and converting to a two-tier premium structure. Do I have a motion? Trustee Nelson, Trustee Stafford, please vote. Yes, sir. Let's see. Testing. Probably closer. Were you able to see? Yeah. You can have testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. Yeah. Something. Yeah, but if I hear like this, you cannot hear any. Okay. I want to use testing. Yeah. Testing. You have to be
1, 2.
because we are supposed. Can you hear me now? Now it's better. Okay, perfect then. I'm back. Okay, action item 13.6. Okay, we are already voted on that one, right? Is 13.6 has been approved, 5-0. Is still something wrong. I want to. The next action item is 13.7, approval of health and welfare benefit increase for California Military Institute management employees and converting to a two-tier premium structure. Do I have a motion? Trustee Nelson, Trustee Twyman, please vote. Action item 13.7 has been approved, 5-0. 14.1 is an information item. Other items by the superintendent. Mr. Ryan.
The only thing I'd like to share is I was able to attend the CMI Pass and Review a week or so ago, and it was a great event. Tipton did a great job leading the cadets, and the change of command ceremony was very cool to see. They did a great job, and they should be commended for that, so thank you.
That's it. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. 15.1, other items by the Board of Trustees. Trustee Stafford. Trustee Twyman. Mr. Nelson. Trustee Garcia.
I just want to thank you, Mr. Tipton. It's been a pleasure serving with you all year.
16.1 is an action item that is to adjourn this regular board meeting of the California Military Institute. Do I have a motion? Trustee Nelson, Trustee Garcia, please vote. Action item 16.1 has been approved, 5-0, and the regular board meeting of the California Military Institute is adjourned at 5:53 p.m. Perfect. The next item, 8.1, is an. We reconvene. Okay. This regular board meeting reconvenes at 5:55 p.m. And the next action item is 8.1, that is revision and adoption of the agenda for today, May 16, 2018.
Yes, Dr. Rao, we'd like to move item 11.4 from consent to an action item and pull action item 14.3 from the agenda at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. 8.1 is the adoption of the agenda with the amendment presented by our superintendent. Do I have a motion to approve it that way? Trustee Nelson, Trustee Garcia, and please vote. And the agenda for today's meeting has been approved 5-0. 9.1 is an information item, report out of closed session.
Yes, I have a couple items to report out of closed session this evening, Dr. Rouse. In closed session by a vote of 5-0, the Board of Trustees approved the following certificated appointments effective July 1st, 2018. Dr. Charles Newman will be the Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services, and Jose Topete will be Assistant Principal at Paris High School. And then another item, in closed session by a vote of 5-0, the Board of Trustees ratified a voluntary demotion agreement for employee number 086948. That concludes the report out of closed session, Dr. Rouse.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett, and we want to welcome to our district Dr. Charles Newman and Mr. Jose Topete. Actually, both of them, welcome back, right?
Yeah.
For both of them. For both of them. They are not here today, but they are going to be here next board meeting. So whenever you see them, let's welcome them back to our district. The next item is also an information item, and is the district update by the superintendent.
Thank you, Dr. Rouse. I have a few items to report on tonight. The first one I'd like to do is present a RAVE Award. And the RAVE Award tonight's going to Terrian Brown. Is Terrian here? Could somebody from outside tell Terrian to come on in? Is that him standing there? He's standing next to the... He was locked outside there. Should I go down there? Terrian's the assistant cheer coach at Paris High School. During this year's sports challenge, Coach Brown led his team to one of the most impressive acts of sportsmanship. The sports challenge is a time for our severely handicapped students to participate in athletic events with peers as their buddies. During this event, PHS cheerleaders came out to support their students. The team, too, took it upon themselves to not only cheer for their school, but for others as well. This had to be difficult, as it's usually the responsibility of the cheer team to create team and school spirit. The team cheered just as hard for the other schools and their athletes. The environment and culture that is created and promoted by Coach Brown led to a very memorable event, not only for the students, but their families. It was also impactful for our faculty and staff as well. Tonight we want to present Coach Brown with this RAVE Award. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, wait a minute. Step up here. Well, last month we were able to report out of closed session that we hired some new employees, administrators, and I want them to get a chance to be introduced this evening. First, I'd like to start out with our new Director of Pupil Services, Mr. Robert Bruff. I think he's outside also. Okay, we'll skip Mr. Bruff for a minute, and I'll... I see somebody that's here right now. Oh, there he is. Mr. Robert Bruff, our new Director of Pupil Services. Mr. Bruff is joining us. He's been the Director of Pupil Services in the Moreno Valley Unified School District the last 2 years. He was a principal there also and an English teacher. So I want to introduce Mr. Bruff. You could say a few words, Mr.
Well, thank you. It's hard. I want to address the board. I want to see all these nice people. How are you? Thank you for the warm reception. I've heard there's usually not this big crowd, and they came just to meet me. It's so kind of you. I really am. It is a pleasure to come. Everyone I've talked to says just an amazing district. I kind of grew up in the area right next door in Moreno Valley, and I can't wait to come work with all of you and parents, colleagues, everyone. So I want to thank the board for this opportunity, and it's an exciting day for me. Thank you.
Welcome. The next person I'd like to introduce is our new principal of Pinacati Middle School, Shaquan Jones.
I've stood here before, approximately 5 years ago, accepting the assistant principal's position. I was pregnant with that little one, and so I'm a little emotional tonight because 5 years later, I stand here before the executive board, Superintendent Grant, and the cabinet. I just want to thank you guys for this opportunity. I'm truly excited to be the new principal of Pinacati and serve the students, parents, the community of the city of Paris. And again, thank you for this opportunity.
Shaquan, you forgot to introduce your guests that are with you.
Oh, yeah.
I got your back, Brandon.
My husband, Brandon Jones, he's also been in the district 10 years. He's moving on to Heritage. I can't be his immediate boss, but I'm the boss. My son, Bryce, who attends Pinacati Middle School, and we've had a successful year with him this year. My daughter, Jada, she's at Herc Boris Elementary School. She's 10, and then my little one again, London, who I was pregnant with when I got announced the assistant principal's job. So I thank you guys, truly.
Thank you, Shaquan. And we also announced 2 new assistant principals, one not new, one new. Returning to the administrative ranks at Heritage High School assistant principal, Chris Cooper.
I'd like to thank the board, the superintendent, the cabinet, and Mr. Arce, wherever he is in here, for this opportunity. It's been a great 6 months there so far, learning the ropes. I look forward to beginning the year with them next year and starting running. That's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Congratulations. And then our newest assistant principal coming to us from Fontana, I got it right. Fontana would be assistant principal at Paloma Valley High School, Claire Reese.
He wants to go. Thank you guys so much. I am so excited to be a part of your family now and excited to do great things here. Thank you.
Introduce your guest with you, Claire.
We brought the whole family. My husband, my 2 kids, Stella and Preston. My dad is here, and my sister and my nieces. We brought everybody from North.
Congratulations, Claire. Welcome to the family. Other things I wanted to just go over. I received an email from Mr. Cousins, the ag teacher at Paris High School, where the Paris High Vegetable Crop Judging Career Development Event team, that's a mouthful, placed first in the 2018 State FFA Champion Vegetables Crop Team. So we had our state champion out of the Paris High Ag Department. And just the final thing, it's going to be busy the next couple of weeks. We have a lot of activities going on. Tomorrow night we have the Paris Lake Pinning Ceremony. Next Tuesday is Heritage Senior Awards Night. Thursday is Paris High Senior Awards Night. The 30th is Student of the Year for our district with Sally Meyer. The same night, Pinnacotty's having their awards night, and then the following night, Paloma Valley has their senior awards night. And then I think CMI has it the following Thursday. Yes, Thursday the 7th. They'll have theirs at 4 o'clock. And then graduation starts. So it's a busy time of year. We're looking forward. It's great to celebrate our students and what they're doing. And we're very proud of all of them. And that would conclude my report for this evening, Dr. Rouse.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. And before moving to the next item, I want to say congratulations to Mr. Bob Ruff, Ms. Jones, Mr. Cooper, and Ms. Reese. Right? Okay, congratulations. Welcome to, well, you're already both of you part of Paris Union. Welcome, Mr. Ruff and Ms. Reese to Paris Union High School District. I know you are going to do a great, outstanding job. Congratulations. Thanks. Our next item is an information item, and we get to the oral reports. Ms. Trustee Stafford.
From Heritage High School, we have student representatives Elena Ruiz and Ashley Garcia.
Good evening, President Arauz, members of the board, Mr. Bennett, and members of the cabinet. My name is Ashley Garcia,
And I'm Elena Ruiz.
and here are some things going on at Heritage High School since we last saw you.
Last week was Teacher Appreciation Week. We had lots of groups and organizations on campus put together some nice appreciation for our staff.
We had our annual musical of family-friendly classical comedy. It was a very fun and exciting show.
We had several of our FFA student win awards, including our 4 Proficiency Award finalists, 2 Proficiency State Champions, and 1 Science Fair State Champion.
We would like to invite you to stop by Lake Skinner's. Saturday and Sunday, May 19th and 20th are race days. The students have worked hard to build the boat and add the necessary components. If you get a chance, come out and support them, please.
We have an HHS art show opening on May 30th from 4 to 6 p.m. The art show will be performed by Mr. Kalantar's Media Arts Festival.
Congratulations, Dr. Leslie Machado, for being chosen as one of the recipients for the annual Day of the Teacher event. She was nominated to be honored by the Office of Jose Medina.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so on Wednesday, May 30th, we will be hosting a day full of student activities. We plan on having events and activities to remind students that there are resources out there for everyone.
Prom was on April 21st at the Fox Theater. The students enjoyed themselves. There was a DJ, live music, snacks, games, a photo flip book, and photo booth for everyone to enjoy.
The 4th annual VIP prom for our students in the district with special needs was hosted on April 14th. We had a great turnout.
We are league champs in baseball. Congratulations to our team and Coach Scott Montgomery for their hard work and making history as they take first place in league and move on to CIF playoffs.
In other sports news, Caitlin Thomas is a CIF champion in the 100 back. Kate is an amazing swimmer and has a very bright future ahead of her. We support her. We are super proud of her hard work.
Congratulations to Kaylee Giannone and Devin Friedland for being our outstanding athletes of the year.
This past month was the reception in which Coach Scott Moore was honored for being the Southern Section recipient of the Norm Mackenzie Award for being an outstanding athletic director. Congratulations.
Our wonderful Heritage High students took a science cruise out to a marine protected area. Students gathered data and took water samples, used nets, took atmospheric readings, utilized underwater videography, and viewed dolphins and sea lions.
Our student of the year is Dayra Leo Sanchez. As our school valedictorian, we look forward to hearing her speak at our graduation. She was also, by the way, our top scholar in the district and recognized by Dr. Judy White and our county superintendent.
Last week, our Think Together program and our Parent Resource Center took parents and their students on a college field trip. Parents got a chance to visit Cal State San Marcos and learn all about the various opportunities there.
We had a pretty cool turnout at our very first Grow Your Legacy Together, a parent-student symposium. We had over 250 students and parents show up to take workshops on building digital citizenship, a transition to high school. This event was for all incoming freshmen.
We had another successful year with senior interviews. The counselors and counseling office staff did a tremendous job once again at reaching out to our local businesses, partners, and agencies, and several different officials to come and interview our seniors as they prepare to enter the workforce on Embark and on their career choice.
Our counseling staff hosted the academic college signing activities for students. Seniors who committed to a college were announced, given some treats, and their very own college pennant.
We had over 250 people show up for our Spanish festival this year. Performances by Latin Fusion and Jasmine Mota delighted the crowds.
Congratulations to our parents who graduated from the K Project 2 Inspire program. It was great to see so many members of our community take advantage of this training and complete their sessions.
We also had an appreciation night where we honored community members and staff who work hard towards parent engagement at Heritage High School.
Our classified staff of the month is Carol Smith. She is a peer educator who works one-on-one with a student, and she cares very much for his success and well-being.
Our teacher of the month is Mr. Kalantar. He is new to our school but has already done an amazing job at connecting with several organizations on campus to make it a positive impact.
Here are some upcoming events. We have a band concert on the 17th, Link Crew May Development Day on the 22nd, Senior Awards Night on the 22nd, Plus Forum on the 24th, Avid Social, Plus TED Talks, Mental Health Fairs on the 30th, First Ever Media Arts Festival on the 30th, Art Show is the 31st and the 1st, and Choir Concert on the 31st.
And that concludes our last presentation ever. Thank you all for your time. Hope to see you at our graduation on June 7th.
Representatives from Paloma Valley, Trustee Twyman.
From Paloma High School, Michaela Castro and Marisol Karen.
Okay. Good evening, Dr. Rao, Mr. Bennett, and board. My name is Marisol Karen.
And I'm Michaela Castro.
And we're updating you for Paloma Valley's May.
Our ASL show was put on by the Year 3 and 4 ASL students. It was an annual showcase, and they were able to perform skits and songs to show all their knowledge that they've learned from our wonderful teacher, Miss Callis. It was a huge hit.
Paloma students were able to go to the college fair in Ontario. They got more info on different colleges and opportunities that were available for them in the future.
3 of our students were recognized as the top academic scholars. Congrats to Eric Mlezqua, Kathleen Fan, and Sean Michael. They are such amazing and hardworking students, and we're really excited to see what they do in their futures.
Prom was such a blast for everyone who went. The ASB junior class did a fantastic job at making sure there was a little something for everyone to do. We had everything from caricatures, air hockey, photo booths, a rooftop lounge. All in all, it was a super fun night at the Natural History Museum.
Our wonderful counseling staff held a college signing day celebrating all the seniors that plan to attend college after graduation.
Our future MSJC students got the opportunity to go to the campus for a day and check it out. They were informed more about the campus and how a day in the life of a college student would be like.
We just, in this past week, celebrated our softball seniors and we played against Heritage. We honored Alexis, Emily, Kenna, Amanda, and Lauren, and we're so proud of them for all the hard work they put in this season.
These are our upcoming events: Senior Sunset, May 18th, Senior One Acts, May 24th, Powder Puff, June 1st, Senior Dance Concert, June 1st, Grad Night, June 7th. Thank you all for your time throughout the year, and we appreciate everything that you guys do for us. And if we don't see you before school gets out, we would like to wish you guys a long, relaxing summer. Thank you, and this concludes our May month.
Sorry. That this is for Marisol and this is for Michaela. Thank you so much for coming every week, every month. Thank you.
From Paris High School, we have student representatives Briseda Magana Cardenas and Victoria Nuno.
Good evening, President Arauz, board members, Superintendent Bennett, and Cabinet. I am Briseda Magana, and along with me is
Victoria Nino.
your Paris High School board representatives. We would like to present this month as a year-end recap of some highlight of our past year together. The theme of our presentation is A Year of the Firsts. This was the first year boys volleyball placed first in league since the program came into existence. This was the first year in 22 years that girls volleyball returned to CIF's postseason play.
This was also the first year that ROTC reached its highest enrollment ever at 358 cadets. This was the first year ever that FFA placed first in state finals and are now the state FFA vegetable champions.
This year was the first year that AVID reached its highest senior enrollment with 124 seniors, including me. This was the first year that Paris is sending an AVID and a college career class to Disneyland for having the best grades, discipline, and attendance for all the freshman classes. Can we go to that too? We may be seniors, but we're freshmen at heart.
This is the first year of having a college and career counselor who pulled off an amazing FAFSA rodeo where I won I didn't win a Keurig, but the girl I'm gonna live with won a Keurig, so I won a Keurig. This is the first year that we had the highest UCR acceptance in the district at 34 seniors. This was also the first year that we broke 61% of FAFSA completion by winter break.
This was the first year that we used BoBots from Parallax Incorporated in Computer Science Discoveries. What are BoBots, you ask? They are little car robots that can be programmed. On a side note, Solar Cup competition at Lake Skinner is this Saturday and Sunday. The team is hoping for a buoyant, fire-free event. So I guess last time the boat caught on fire and kind of sank on the water.
Anyways,
this is the first year that we had 13 AP Computer Science principal students take the AP test in only the second year of the program, and I'm finally finished with my AP exams.
this is the first year that Paris is the only school in our district to have athletes qualify for the CIF Track and Field Championship Finals this Saturday at El Camino College. Good luck to Anaya Pelt and Romello Edwards. # Paris Pride. Panther Pride. This was the first year that we had the highest attendance in all 4 of our school-wide dances, selling out prom for the 7th year in a row.
This was the first year that we had a student health fair organized and ran by our Plus leadership that included many local organizations. This was the first year that ASB has joined forces with the County of Riverside and Be Wiser, a program aimed to reduce DUIs.
This was the first year of our newest part of campus, the 4,000 building that included our home away from home, ASB. This was also a very important first because it was our first year with our amazing principal, Mr. Santos.
Even if he even period subbed our second period in ASB class, I said hi to him, but I guess I forgot, and then when I noticed him, I was so shocked.
He also put up with our constant harassment about sitting with us during these board meetings.
And when he laughed at our Feliz Juanidad Christmas presentations. Okay, and I would like to invite you guys again to my graduation.
Our graduation.
Sure, our graduation. June 6th at 6 p.m.
We just want to say this was sponsored by Principal Santos. And finally, this is a very sad, but this is our very first and very last year that we will be your Paris High School board representatives. We'd like to thank all of you for listening to our very bad jokes for a whole year.
And most of all, we'd like to thank Rodriguez for being the mastermind behind all that we say and putting up with our cheesemen. And I would like to thank you in advance for attending my graduation.
Our graduation.
Yes, our graduation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Also, we got these neat jackets.
jackets look pretty snazzy right there. All right, for Briseda, I'm sorry, my bad, and Victoria, thank you very much for the year of coming in and giving us updates on Paris High School.
It was a
Appreciate it.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Briseida and Victoria, and we'll see you at your graduation in June. And at UC Davis, that's right, yes. Okay, now from Paris Lake High School, let's welcome our students' representatives, Joseph Asensio, Maricruz Cuevas, Marcos Franco, and Lorena Zúñiga.
Good evening, Governing Board and Cabinet members. My name is Lorena Zúñiga, and I am a student representative of Paris Lake High ASB. I would like to introduce my fellow ASB members, Joseph Asensio and Marcos Franco.
SOAR Awards took place on May 10th. 36 of our students got awards. The awards were based on attendance, grades, and behavior. Approximately 20 parents joined. Mr. Hauser was announcing the names. There was 4 honor roll students. Each of them received an award and a medal. We raffled movie tickets, Subway gift cards, scooters, skateboards. We served hot dogs, burgers, chips, water bottles, and fruit.
Prom 2018 was on May 5th. It took place at the Wilson Creek Vineyard and Winery in Temecula, California. Approximately 40 of our Paris Lake High School students attended, and thanks to Paris High School, we were able to be part of their prom and have a great time along with several other students.
On May 4th, Kelly and Brandon, managers of Buckle Fashion Industry, visited Paris Lake High School and shared some amazing information with our students about getting started in their fashion industry. They had on-campus pre-interviews, and one of our students was hired at Buckle in the Promenade Temecula Mall. Thanks to Mr. Bryant for making these arrangements.
Mount San Jacinto presentation by Beth Bowles took place on April 27th. It was a great opportunity for questions and answers time. Ms. Bowles educated our students on what courses incoming freshmen are recommended to take and which courses they offer, and the certification programs and trade certification programs they offer as well. She also provided assistance with one-on-one registration. Again, thanks to Mr. Bryant for making this possible for our students at PLHS.
This was our first workshop presented by Dave Jackson, celebrating our ASB Students of the Month. The students were given a hands-on demonstration to create their own succulent creation. Students were allowed to design their own pot with a choice of different small plants to choose from. They were then able to take their creation home along with snacks provided by ASB afterwards.
Our mental health awareness fair was hosted on April 25th, 2018. It was also the very first time our district had a mental health awareness event at one of our high schools. We had multiple guest presenters come in and go over some very important mental health techniques, such as breathing, self-esteem, coping skills, growth mindset, etc.
Esteban Rodriguez is our 2018 Student of the Year. He's graduating with a 4.0 GPA. He's a great student and takes the time out to assist others. He received an award from the district, and he is also one of our candidates for the Puma scholarships. And finally, we want to invite you all to our pinning ceremony at Panacati Middle School tomorrow at 6 p.m. Thank you for the opportunity to share a few of the events from Paris Lake High School.
On behalf of the Board of Education, Cabinet, all of our staff, certificated and classified, as well as because all of us, we are Paris Union High School District. Lorena, I'm presenting this certificate of recognition, and thank you for being here all this year and making the reports from Paris Lake High School. Who is yours?
Me.
Yours. Okay.
Thank you.
And Marcus. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rao. Board members, Mr. Bennett, cabinet. Apparently my principal already just left, so the new one. So we're really excited at Pinacati. We got a lot of things that are going on, so we want to make sure that we let you know what's sort of happening. I haven't run one of these before, so bear with me. Do I put the bottom trigger or the side trigger? Side trigger. So apparently this is the... Please bear with us with the technical difficulty. Is this the one? Okay, so good evening. So Pinacati, the happenings that were going on with April, we had a lot of Earth Day activities dealing with astronomy, and there were some planting things that were going on, and a lot of the kids really enjoyed what was going along with it. Our spring drama performance was actually a full house on a Friday night, I might add. I was there, it was really great. And our wonderful mayor of Paris was able to attend, so that was really a great time. The kids did a wonderful job. Our NJHS spring induction had occurred, and those students are very, very proud of what's going on. And we had open house with band and drama performances, and so the elementary schools could welcome, we could welcome them for next year. So with May, we had SBAC Spirit Week, and they created a slideshow that is currently running on all the monitors in order to motivate the kids to do well on the test. The kids were really creative with the different things that they came up with to motivate each other to do well on the test. So we are right in the middle of our testing window, so the kids are working really, really hard on that. And makeup testings will occur for the rest of this week, and then maybe in the next week. We're working really hard to make sure we can get them done by Friday. Last week, the 7th graders got the chance to show their stuff, and they did really, really well. Everybody took the test seriously, and we're really excited to get our data back. We're really pumped to find out how everything worked out. So upcoming, we have ASB and Web and Cheer and Dance. They're going to be welcoming our elementary schools to Pinacati, the future Pumas. And so we have our orientation rally that's coming up, and of course, you're all welcome to come by. So we have our annual awards night that's going to be on the 30th. We're pulling all the stops. We're going to have lots of athletic things and picture places to really show off what Pinacati does and the great things that it provides for its students. So and the great things that our students have done for us. So it's going to be a really great night that we're really pumped for. Our promotion is going to be on June 6th. We're before some people, which is awesome. So 9 o'clock. We are very, very we're very, very excited to have you guys out, and look forward to a wonderful, wonderful morning. Okay, and then June 7th is the last day of school. 8th graders will be going to the Knots to celebrate their wonderful promotion, and the 7th graders will have a field day on the field day. Did you like that one? I came up with that one. All right. I'm sorry. Okay. So obviously this is the end of the year, and please have a Pumarific summer. Other than that, I'm out. Thank you, ladies.
Okay, we are going to continue with our meeting, but at this time we would like to give the opportunity to the students if they would like to leave the meeting. This is the time, so we are going to take a couple of minutes to allow you to leave if you desire to do so.
All the more reason to swing by Paris High.
Okay, we are going to continue with our board meeting, and item 9.4 is an information item, and it's our CSEA President, Helen Steinmack.
Good evening, President Dr. Rao, members of the board, Superintendent Mr. Bennett, and Cabinet. Last month, I mentioned to you in my speech that some decisions that will come through negotiations will be hard pills to swallow. Well, that day has arrived. I am saddened to have been the bearer of bad news to our lowest paying employees in our district, that many of them would not have jobs to come back to next year, and others would have their hours reduced. The nutrition service assistants were shocked by this news, and I wouldn't be surprised if some show up tonight to speak to you. I know part of the backstory when the district came to us in negotiations with the rebranding vision of Terabytes Cafe and the expectation for future growth. For many reasons, and I'm not here to point fingers, that vision did not totally realize, and now our classified employees, specifically the nutrition service assistants, have to assume the brunt of not meeting budgets and goals. I ask you today to use the resources we have without contracting out or bringing in more managers to find out what went wrong. Talk to our people who are on the front lines and find out why our students are failing to buy and eat lunch. There are so many studies out there about what a meal does for our students and their ability to learn. We need to find solutions to make sure our students are eating so they can succeed. Students don't have enough time to eat now, and with projected increased enrollments for next year and beyond, how will we adequately be able to feed our children? Talk to our leads because they already have enough difficulty finding subs, and with less staff, that will surely have an impact on our students' ability to get lunch. With a reduced workforce and an ill feeling towards both CSEA and the district, I hope it won't be too late when we find solutions and seek to restore those positions. Paris Union High School District was known for holding fast on keeping positions, even in difficult times. That distinction is gone. All we can do now is to restore the confidence with appropriate actions backed by sound management decisions. I don't want to have to come back here in the future with more strong statements, but I was put here to represent CSEA members, and the harsh reality is our NSA members deserve some explanation from their leadership. And if they meet minimum qualifications to fill positions vacated through retirements, please consider them first. They have families to support too. Although my message today is not a positive, upbeat one, it is still a message that needs to be heard. Thank you for your time this evening.
Next item, 9.5, PSEA President, Ms. Vicky Mueller.
Yeah, the right one this time. I have the big one here, so. Start it when it's ready. Good evening, Dr. Rowe, Board, Mr. Bennett, Cabinet. PSEA's had a busy month. We prepared for our Teacher Appreciation Day. We attended a football game at the Storm Stadium. PSEA provided lunch on April 20th to teachers at Pinacati and to teachers at Paloma on April 27th. I was fortunate enough to take 30 students deep sea fishing thanks to a program called Friends of Rollo. And the superintendent's office, assisted with paying for the buses. So I'd like to show you a short slideshow. Is it just the center button? I'm sorry. There we go. We good? Oh. All right, help me out. Which button do I push? Back one? Oh, sorry. Okay, I know order it today. swim fishing on May 3rd. Here we are, waiting to board the boat. They were so excited. Even though it was a little chilly, the name of the boat that we took out was called the Real Fun. So, no pun intended there, I guess. Here's just a picture. I don't know if you can see how choppy the sea was, but it was pretty choppy and pretty windy and pretty cold for some of them. Boys and girls alike, learning how to bait hooks. That young man there baited girls' hooks on one side of the boat the whole time. I don't think he let any of them bait their own hooks. So, this was the first fish. I just wanted you to look at that smile. You think he's ever going to forget that? Never. Never going to forget that. So, lunch was provided on the boat. This is playing in the bait tank as usual. And then we had the not-so-good sailors. We only had 4 this time. Okay. And this was fishing in the kelp beds, which, of course, if you want sea bass or calico bass, that's where you go. And so, of course, telling students, just drop it down, don't cast, drop it down. Of course, lines were lost and hooks were lost, and a lot of kelp was reeled in. And so here we are, just kind of waiting for the big one. And there were a lot of people out sailing, just to show you how windy it really was that day. There were a lot of, if you've been sailing before, there were a lot of boats on beam. So this is what your investment got. That $800 for the buses. Okay. Seas were rough and they had a blast. This was the last fish of the day, and it was also a keeper. So the Friends of Rollo is a scholarship program that allows the students to do this. They enjoyed themselves, and they were very appreciative for the opportunity. But I was sad and disappointed to hear that the funding has been taken away to save money for operational costs, is what I was told. So I just think that we have to stop and think about what we're doing here. This is for kids, and we've got to somehow figure out how to balance this too. So just like the ocean pictured here on our trip, looks like we have some rough seas ahead. So that ends my slideshow. However, I am not done. So I guess I have a question, several questions in fact. Why are we now in a budget crisis? There are rumors all over the district about millions being lost here, things being cut there. We're spending $2 million a year on maintenance of Chromebooks, millions on consultants, and yet recently I believe I saw where there were raises to bring people to parity with neighboring districts. And so I'm trying to wrap my head around where some of this is coming from. We're saving money for schools why are we saving for a school and increasing the size of Paloma for overflow? We're saving money for a school that is not built yet, that the students are not here yet for, when we have a middle school that if we get the number of students that we're projected to get, we have no empty rooms. That's projected numbers. Paloma has no empty rooms. Where are they those are kids that are here now in the neighborhood. And yet we have to cut $700,000 by making Pentecostal change their bell schedule, where kids are going to get out at 4 o'clock. 4 p.m. is the projected time to get on the bus, to go home, to be dismissed. Our kids live in rural areas. They walk. That doesn't mean that they are at home by 4 o'clock. That means they leave school at 4, travel some of them for 45 minutes, get off the bus, and then walk down unpaved roads home in the dark from about October until February. I think we have to think, we're thinking about kids here. We are going to lose, we're destroying the opportunity for future students to participate in any kind of school program, sports program, tutoring programs. Students will not be able to participate in sports because they will lose too many periods of academics. If a game starts at 4 or 4:30, they're going to miss time to prepare and travel time. They're going to miss average of 3 periods of instruction. So we're going to impact the academic and social success of our middle school students for students that are not here in the district. Because from what I've been told is that this is building funds for operational cost. For a school that's going to cost $130 million to build, we're saving $700,000. So the families, the students, and the staff at Pentecostal traditionally never get any benefit from cost-saving measures. It's been a history. Those of you that have been here for a long time, you know that this is a fact. I want you to also know that current options were not presented until to the staff. We were made aware of it a couple weeks ago. The staff was not made aware of it until just recently, when we put out our an update. So staff has not had the time to really voice much of an opinion. I just think that we need to make sure that we're doing what's best for kids that are here now and the kids that we are getting. And why is it that we're always cutting the youngest ones? We have these are 11-year-old kids. We're gonna send them home in the dark? I don't get it. I just don't get it. And I have to stand with Helen here. You know, we're taking the lowest of the low and we're cutting from the bottom? When do we start seeing things coming from the top? When do we start seeing some concessions being made in other areas? Why do we have millions of dollars in consultant fees? Why, when we ask, what did this $4 million go to this company for, we get a blank look. And they don't know what it's for. And they have to go do research. So, I'm gonna end it there. I think we need to really stop and think about these rough seas ahead. I'm really concerned. It's disconcerting when I saw a budget presentation not too long ago that seemed to make it look like it was okay, and I'm confused. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Mueller. 10.1 is a information item, invitation to address the Board of Trustees on agendized and non-agendized items. We have the one for non-agendized, right? And we are going to invite to come here to the podium to Ms. Jackie McDonough.
Mistake.
Ms. McDonough.
Good evening to the board.
Could you please allow me to read the statement? It's part of the process of the protocol.
I know.
I miss it.
I know.
I apologize.
I know. You
Sorry.
know I know, but go ahead.
Individual speakers shall be allowed 3 minutes to address the board on each agenda or non-agenda item. The board shall limit the total time for public input on each item to 20 minutes. With board consent, the president may increase or decrease the time allowed for public presentation, depending on the topic and the number of persons wishing to be heard. The President may take a poll of speakers for or against a particular issue and may ask that the additional persons speak only if they have something new to add. Thank you, Ms. McDonald.
You're welcome. My name's Jackie McDonald. For those of you who don't know me, I've been coming to these board meetings for almost 25 years. And usually when I come here, I'm talking about money, and I'm talking about money tonight. My husband got a survey call about the bond. The person who called him was in Idaho. We're spending money in Idaho. I'm sure there's somebody in California that can make those calls. I know you can't do it in this district because of the fact that the bond is for this district, but you don't have to go all the way to Idaho. And I won't tell you what I think about Idaho. I was really shocked when I came and I heard all of what's going on now. You guys are going to make me come back. I'm 70 years old. I thought I was done with this district, but how dare you make our kids, I live on a dirt road, to have to walk in the dark after they get off the bus. The bus stops a block and a half, 2.5 blocks away from my house. That's unfair to these kids. The other thing I want to say, thank you, Vicki, for informing me that they're going to see me every month again here, okay? I don't think you guys understand how disappointed I am. The fact that we didn't get a new junior high school in Paris, and a former board member said, well, we'll just pass a bond for that. No, you're not. I voted for Prop 13, and I belong to the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association. No. And to cap that off, I don't think you should be contracting with nutritional services when we have a perfectly good place on the campus. We used to serve food to kids. When I was everything here. I was president of the school site council for both Pinacati and Paris High School for 6 years when my son attended here. Wonderful child he was, graduated in '94, and he keeps asking me, why do you keep going back? Because you guys are spending our money. Third and final thing before I go home is Cynthia Clark and I, since we were both on the bond feasibility committee, do not want our names put on the ballot as being for this bond because you guys lie. And she was at the meeting where you lied to the people in Menifee that we're not going to mention CMI because people in Menifee won't pay for it because CMI is in Paris. So that's all I have to say. Thank you for allowing me to speak. And if you guys who are new up here don't know who I am, ask somebody.
Our next speaker, Latasha Anderson.
Thank you, board and attendance, for allowing me this time to speak. I'm here on behalf of my two students that attend Paris High School. They're 11th and 10th grade. What happened was we were homeschooling the children for a number of years, and we transferred back here to Paris, California. And upon doing so, I had dropped off transcripts to the high school over the summer. After allowing the children to attend summer school. Those transcripts were missing or misplaced. Later, I found out that my son was going to be asked to take classes over that we had already given him during homeschool. And so I had gone to various entities within the school district and tried to speak to some others that I see here this evening, but to no avail. So that's what prompted me to be here this evening. I went with APAC, counseling department at Paris High School, assistant principal. I did speak with the principal, but I believe that the decision was overturned by an email. And after doing so, I spoke with a Mr. Herman at Pupil Services, and I received a letter from him saying that the transcripts were accepted, and it reads as follows. After reviewing the matter regarding Drake and Jordan Anderson with Dr. Salcedo, I have been authorized to inform that the Paris Unified High School District will accept the transcripts from the Anderson Academy, which is what I had given myself and my children via the homeschool. And it says, please inform Mrs. Anderson to have her sign the transcripts manually. Once that is done, provide them to Mrs. Martinez, the register, to place them on the students' records. So that hasn't happened, and I was told that the kids will have to take classes that they've already taken, and I just need clarity and understanding as to why this was set in place, and it was giving us hope and assurance that we would be able to proceed, but then it was recanted. And I would just like to stipulate to all parties attending here this evening that it's not my want to bring duress to any faculty or staff, members of the board either, but my hope is for the matter to be taken seriously and that no bias nor prejudice will be sought with fear of repercussion for seeking understanding. That's what I need. I also have here bill text AB 1806, Pupil Services. My children are McKinney-Vento, and it states that a school district or county office of education shall not require a pupil who is deemed homeless to retake a course if the pupil is satisfactory and they've completed the entire course. They don't have to take them, but I'm being asked to have my son, who is a junior now, who will be a senior, to retake all these courses, and I just don't understand why. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Anderson. Usually, it is the tradition, we don't comment on public comments. I want to take this opportunity, I want to make an exception, Ms. Anderson. Your case is going to be considered. You are going to be hearing from somebody from the district. And please do not worry about any kind of repercussions or retaliations about that, okay? We are here to support our students, our parents, to do what is right. And you can get on the website and look at our emails. And please let us know if this has been resolved to your satisfaction or what we can follow up. Thank you.
Because they have received accolades from the school with grade point averages, and they are equipped and above to do the work. And so that should show that even being homeschooled, that they have continued to do their lessons and do them well, because the school has given them accolades that assure that. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Now we go with the next item. We go with this one. Agendize. Okay. We are going to continue with our meetings. And next we have speakers regarding agendized items. The first speaker, Norma Martinez. Because I'm sorry. It says agendized and non-agendized items. Did I? Yeah? Okay. Thank you. Ms. Norma Martinez is here? Okay. I want to, if she's not there, we can go to the next speaker and then we can come back. We can call her. We are going to continue. Our next speaker, San Juana Gomez.
Good evening. I just want to, it's really hard to stand out here and represent my nutrition. I've been working here with Heritage High School for the past 11 years. And I just want to, this is a whole disaster for us. You know, we're being, yours is just picking in people to lay off, cutting hours, which is not fair. I am here every single morning from 6 o'clock. I'm at 6 hours, but I do open nutrition service with a 3 hours that she helps me every single day to prep breakfast. And her job and many more staffs are in jeopardy right now because someone didn't seem to manage our budget and to see where they were going to be put at. So now our jobs are in jeopardy and cutting hours. So that means that even through it says that we are not going to do overload, we are going to be doing overload because people are not going to be there and cutting hours.
Our next speaker, Cindy Paul.
My name's Cindy, and I've been with this district over 18 years. I've done all of my 18 years at Paloma. I'm one of those lucky ones, you might say, that works the morning shift. And I have since found out that they're doing away with those morning shifts. I am a single person who supports myself, and I work 2 jobs. Now, because of no decision of my own, or maybe some bad decisions along the way, I am being forced to choose between 2 jobs. 2 jobs that are good jobs that I shouldn't have to quit. And I want you guys to understand that this is financially going to mess me up really bad. And I just wanted to let you guys know I'm sick to my stomach. I'm a person that comes to work every day. I have really good work as far as I make sure I come to work because I need my job. And now all of this has been for nothing. It should stand for something. I need my job. So just wanted you guys to know that I'm sick. And I stand up for a lot of us out there. We don't deserve this. We did not decide to do this. And it's only our 2nd year into this thing. We haven't even finished our 2nd year yet. And we're already standing here asking for you guys to save our jobs. So somewhere along the line, we don't understand. Somebody wasn't paying attention. Something wasn't being watched. Something. But we're not even done with our 2nd year yet. So we just wanted you guys to know, I really do need my job.
Next speaker, Ms. Janet Ruiz.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you guys this evening. I am here for myself and my co-workers that said that they would like to be here but have young children and cannot make it, which are being affected by this decision that's being made. It came on us very quickly with the surprise. We don't understand. We wanted to make this work. We're all trying very hard. We work very hard. We go to our jobs every day. And I just feel that it's unfair with your bad management of the funds and making decisions that we, weren't involved in, that the NSA is taking the brunt of this. I thank you, and that's all I have to say.
Our next speaker, Mr. Adam Weinberger.
Members of the board, cabinet. I didn't come here to speak. I actually just showed up to support our NSAs. But after talking to some of our NSAs, I can't stay silent. This department is very near and dear to my heart because I was chapter president at a time when we took them back from Paris Elementary. And we were supposed to be this shiny city on the hill. We're going to take back this department. We're going to feed our children good food. We're going to treat our employees well. And frankly, 8 years later, this has not happened. It's been this steady downhill ever since we took over in 2010. And year after year, I see mismanagement. And guess who gets to take the brunt of that? Not the people that mismanaged our kitchens, but our hardworking NSAs who are there day in, day out, feeding our students. And to top it all off, next week is California School Employee Week. We appreciate you guys, but yet we're going to lay you off. We're going to reduce your hours. I was in Vallejo 7 years ago where that school district did that to their employees. Proclamation, thank you for all your hard work. At the same school board meeting, they laid off half their classified. I've been a 14-year employee of this district. I love this district, but today I stand ashamed that these are the steps we're taking. Our NSAs don't deserve that. These guys are the lowest paid in our district, and they deserve better than that. I was also chapter president during some rough times, 2009 to 2012, worst our state has ever seen. And we had a superintendent back then that said no layoffs. So we have a new superintendent now, and Grant, I respect you, but this is not the road that we need to take. I think the district needs to go back, maybe figure something out, but these guys do not deserve this. Thank you.
Our next speaker, Ms. Claudia Davis.
Good evening, President Arau, Board, Superintendent Bennett, and Cabinet. I would first of all like to know why, when funds get tight, it is the classified members that you cut. Why do we always have to suffer from the layoffs? I understand the funding is different between nutrition and the general fund. I understand that. You have 2 field supervisors in nutrition. One, I always see her in her office. Why isn't she out in the field helping and leading? Instead, when she is in the field, she is belittling and criticizing the employees. These concerns have been brought to her attention, spoken with her regarding this concern, but it obviously has not helped. We, I'm talking PUHSD, are too top heavy. We have 4 assistant superintendents, and one of those is a deputy, and 12 directors. Really? Is that really needed for a district this size? There are bigger districts that don't have that much. You have been handing out reclassifications with new titles that warrant higher pay. What about the classified members who do the majority of the work and keep the district going? We make you look good. The rebranding of the nutrition department was not needed. You should have tried it first instead of increasing hours and hiring more nutrition workers, only to have them laid off when your idea failed.
Our next speaker, Ms. Kelly Biggs.
Good evening. If you want to do what's best for our department, then you need to, I understand that we have the two field supervisors, and I feel that we need to keep Rick as a field supervisor because he's supportive of the staff, very approachable and open to new ideas. He has a calm and in-control presence, and he stands back and lets us do our job. He has a lot to bring to our department with his chef background and culinary skills. And so who better can we learn from? We have our other field supervisor, Laura Madrano, who does talk down to the staff and has told our kitchen at Paris High School that we were losers because we ran low on food. And if we had food, we wouldn't be losers. That's not a leader. She brings chaos to our kitchens. People tense up, cringe, and feel like they have to walk on eggshells when she walks in. And how can we have a supervisor of the department leading us when she isn't welcome into some of the kitchens? A good supervisor doesn't bring chaos, but brings calmness. They should lead by example and be willing to listen to staff, not talk down to them or bark orders at them. Now with the layoffs, we have even more chaos with the people bumping others to keep the hours, and it's sad. It's really sad. Laura's not open to change or open to new things, and we don't need to be micromanaged. We know our jobs. Let us do it. She's also very wasteful with products and doesn't seem to care since it's not her money. And rebranding our department I know it costs a lot of money, and it was not needed. It was not a wise investment, and it hurt the department more than it helped it. The two, I know, Candace and Laura, that are mainly responsible for the mess should take responsibility. It's not being taken. Because of their bad decisions, we have people losing their jobs and people losing hours. If our management is an at-will management, why are we losing a site supervisor also based on seniority? Why is it only nutrition services that are having, well, apparently there are more departments than ours having problems. And where has the money gone? Where's the transparency? There is none? No accountability? Where is the accountability? It's just not right. And the right thing needs to be done for nutrition services. With all of this happening, who better to support Audrey in the next school year? Rick, who's very supportive, has good ideas, and is open to new ideas, or Laura, who creates a chaotic environment and argues with each decision made by our director? She's not a team player, and that's what we need at this time of rebuilding our department. We need accountability and teamwork.
Next speaker, Ms. Cristina Macias.
Good afternoon. I feel like I should have prepared something because I have so much I want to say in so little time. But a lot of my coworkers, as well as our CSE president, our former presidents, have voiced my concerns. I just want to add, I come to work every day. I'm a 6-hour employee. I expressed to my field supervisor many times that we were being very wasteful with our food. And every time that our field supervisor would come in, she would tell me if I didn't have items, every single item on the menu that I needed to overcook. There was actually times where we were throwing away hundreds of meals every day over 2 years. I know that's not where all the money went, but that's a big chunk of it. Now I feel like I'm getting punished. I was working as directed. I was overcooking because I was told that I needed to do that. Now my job could be in jeopardy. I could lose my 6 hours, or I could be bumped to a school that's going to make it harder for me to take my 9-year-old daughter to school and pick her up. How is that fair? Who is held accountable for this? I need my job, I need my 6 hours, and I need it at my site. I don't understand. Like they said, transparency. We need to know what happened to the money and why are we now in this predicament. Thank you.
Next, Ms. Cynthia Delgado.
Sorry, I'm going to use my phone because I wrote this down so I wouldn't forget. Good evening, members, Dr. Rowe, members of the board. My name's Cynthia. I am currently an employee at Heritage High School in the Nutrition Services Department. Let me start with saying this. At the beginning of last year, during our in-service days, we were told by Candace Rain and Laura Medrano, our field supervisor, that our department was going to go through a big change. That big changes were going to be made. All the ideas, they had seemed to be good on paper, but a lot of us didn't believe this was such a great idea. One of the changes was the rebranding of the department. We all figured out that the rebranding was going to cost us money, and that was okay. The issue was and continues to be the unnecessary spending, such as a consultant to help with the rebranding. I don't know the exact amount of how much it cost to get a consultant, but we had a consultant come in, take pictures of the food. Why? Put us on Instagram. I understand that everything is about social media nowadays. I totally understand that. These kids didn't even go on there. If you go on our page, you can see how many kids are actually on our page. Very limited amount, I'm pretty sure. Another thing, with the consultant, the rebranding, we got new uniforms, new menu items, televisions that we didn't ask for. None of this was asked if, hey guys, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? It was, here's what we're doing, here's what we're gonna go with, and you guys have to deal with the consequences. If it works, great, and if it doesn't, we got the last end of it, and this is not fair. Fast forward to today, our numbers of lunches haven't really increased as much as their plan was. So everything that they tried to do for the department didn't help the numbers increase drastically. And now the main reason I am here today is because a week ago, we were told that all of our jobs were at jeopardy. We were told that some positions will be eliminated and hours would be reduced. We have a lot of questions and didn't receive clear answers. The number one concern I have is what action is the board going to be taking in this matter? Will there be any type of investigation on where all this money went? My understanding, it was almost $2.9 million that was spent from 2014-2015 school year that was unnecessary. We didn't ask for this. Why, instead of hiring a consultant, do we not use the students? Students do the whole media thing. Why didn't we ask them, hey, come up with an idea? If we're such about the school and we're such about the kids, why didn't we ask the kids, come up with a logo? Let's see who of these kids can come up with a good logo, and we'll put it on regular t-shirts that can cost us $5. Instead of, I don't know how much this costs, our aprons that are torn apart by like the second wash. Unnecessary, again. Instead of spending, again, money on televisions, uniforms, we could have maybe tried different menu items that weren't as expensive, or even try as small things as containers that we were putting our food in. Another question is, why halfway through the branding was another field supervisor hired? Knowing that the department wasn't in the best financial status, and now, I'm sure, just like us that are gonna be affected, so is he. At what point will enough be enough? A lot of us here today will probably not be coming back next year because of mismanagement of the finances in our department. But I would like to ask the board to please listen to what we are trying to say here. We didn't ask for rebranding, but yet the people that are making $800 to $900 a month, because that's how much we make, okay, a month, are the ones being punished for the actions of the people that are making six figures. If I happen to be one of those people that doesn't get to come back next school year, I would only plead to you members of the board that changes be made in management, because this is not fair. Yes, there will be changing things in the department, but the people that put us in this hole maintain their positions. So there will be no change. And 6 months from now, what's gonna be? Everybody is going to get laid off. They're gonna rehire a brand new 3 hours, everybody. And what's gonna happen to all the people? That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Our next speaker, Ms. Lilia Tamayo.
the question is, why is the nutrition service always been considered the bottom of the barrel? Always, never taken into consideration. And now that people have mismanaged funds, we are gonna pay for it because of somebody else's mistakes? Where is that fair? I need my job just as much as anybody else does up there too. Thank you.
Ms. Juana Melendres.
Good evening. I work here almost 4 years, and I was very surprised for that news. And I am here for support all my coworkers because some are busy and I need my 6 hour. You, my boss over there, they give me 6 hour. I was very glad for my family. Now, I hear I can cut my 3 hours. It's not fair. It's not fair for anybody. Because I have family, 2 children, I have my husband too. I have somebody, I have to keep my family very well. And I work a lot, I learn a lot. So I have experience in that, but you and our bosses, I don't know, they have experience for manage this department. So I hope not only you listen us, we need you act, take decisions in the future for our department. Not only listen, you need to try on and change, but really change, because our department nutrition services, we get only 3 hours. Another district, they have 2 hours and a half. But here, I get 6 hours. So it's a great opportunity in this district. So I don't know why this, now they're cutting more hours if we working only 3 hours. The teachers work 8 hours, the leaders 8 hours, the custodian 8 hours. So we only 3 hours. Why you are cutting us? That hour, why take us hours? It's at least 3 hours. No, it's not fair. We here only for 3 hours and we need to get another job for our families. So why our department suffered this? Because you're taking that money for waste your money and other things we need it. We don't need it that. So I hope in God you listen us right now in this day. Please change our department. We needed that. We desperate for that. Thank you.
Our next speaker, Ms. Norma Martinez. Okay, she's still not, she was not outside? She was outside a few minutes ago. No, Norma? Okay, thank you. Okay, we are going to go to our next item, that is 11.1. It's an action item, it's our consent calendar. We pulled one item, right, already? Yeah, okay. It was already, I'm sorry. 2 items? Yeah, 1 item from consent and the other one from action. It was removed or where was it? No? Okay. Okay. That is, go ahead. That is 14.3. We are voting on. No, this one is not in the consent calendar. It's an action item. It's going to come in a few more minutes. Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar for this meeting with the removal of item for 11.4? Yeah. Trustee Nelson and Trustee Stafford. Please vote. Okay, the consent calendar has been approved, 5-0. Our next item is an information item, 12.1, security update.
Okay, thank you, Superintendent Arau. Oh my goodness, look at President Arau, Cabinet, Cabinet. I think I'm going to start over. Good evening, President Arau and board members, Superintendent and Cabinet. Okay, so this is going to be a quick update, I promise. That's not fair. That's really not fair. So really quick, this is going to be a quick overview. And so what we're going to start with is just kind of where we've been. And so back in March, we approved the addendum to continue with Will Height and Associates to help us with our security program. Security assessments at all campuses have now been completed. We have existing policies and procedures that have been reviewed. We have a training calendar that we have developed, and we are working on campus supervisor uniforms. So that's kind of the big picture. We're going to take each one, has a separate slide to break it down. When we talk about policies and procedures, we've had, so Charlie Wilhite, he's brought on Scott Madden. He's another retired captain. And so what he's done is look at all of our board policies that related to safety and security. And so he looked at which ones, when PUHSD updated them, when CSBA updated them, and then anything that needed to be updated or revised, he's now made note of that. And so we're working with him to update and revise those board policies. We're hoping to bring the first reading to you in May, and then the second reading in June. We had a short timeline. So the good news is there's 2 meetings in June. So we're planning to bring you the first reading of the revised policies in June 4th, and then bring those back June 20th, hopefully for your approval. And then, so when we talked about this earlier, once we have the policies in place that have been revised for safety and security, then we'll start working on the procedures, and that will build that framework that we need. We've also worked with Charlie Wilhout and Scott Madden on dates that they have available for training. We want to start out with administration. So once we have policies and procedures, we'll start with administrators in July, and then we've got dates for campus supervisors, and we'll be working with CSEA on those dates. The campus supervisor uniforms will continue to be a priority for everyone. I think everyone agrees. We want them to look professional and have a little bit more of a security presence, but also maintain that, the mentorship relationship that they do with kids. We want to be consistent district-wide, allow for campus supervisors to be easily identified, and then basically include both shirts that we have, and then pants and/or shorts. So that's kind of what we're working on. We've been starting the process with CSEA, and we'll continue with that. The upcoming milestones and updates, basically we're looking for that framework, get our policies revised, get our procedures written, and then that will kind of work into, that will work into the training, and then site-specific protocols. And so the goal for that would be, over the first semester of next year, would be Captain
well, they're both retired captains. Charlie Wilhite and Scott Madden would be working with site administrators and campus supervisors and the lead campus supervisor and the plant supervisors for the site-specific protocols and tweak them as they go. So, you know, they've already got stuff in place depending on what needs to change based on the district policy and procedures. When that comes out, then work with them, get feedback, and kind of work through that process over the first semester. And then we plan to bring back updates to you in September, January, and May. That was quick, Helen. I'm done, right? Are there any questions?
When are they going to get active shooter training?
Oh, they have been.
Oh, really?
So, and I guess I'd have to qualify with what that means to you, but we have had, we have Deputy Roger Doyle and Deputy Roger Owen. They've been going site to site, talking to staff. We've always incorporated active shooter training for campus supervisors. If you're talking about at the school sites, they have been meeting, I think we've got almost every school site they've already attended. I think Paloma's on this coming Friday, and they're meeting with staff and talking about, you know, the basic, really the mental preparedness piece, because we got an active shooter module that they take, but really you got to have that conversation, and it has to be ongoing. So we've been doing that. We also had a really great tabletop drill at Paris High. I think it was yesterday. This feels like a blur. Yesterday. That was really good, where they had some campus supervisors, teachers. It was just one building. So it had a really good exchange with teachers, some really good considerations came out of it, not only for admin, for campus supervisors, and also for the district. So it's a good process. So, any more questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Our next item is an information item, 13.1, discipline, April 2018 monthly suspension report. 14.1 is an action item, personnel, certificated personnel action items. Do I have a... Okay, at this point, I just want to make the announcement. One of our board members had an emergency and she had to leave. So it's not going to be part of the process, of the decision-making process tonight. Ms. Tell, do I need to get you? Thank you. Thank you for taking care of that. Yeah, before I ask for the motions. Ready? Perfect. Okay. Do I have a motion? Trustee Nelson? Trustee Garcia? This is certificated, right? Yeah. Okay, please vote. Action item 14.1 has been approved 4-0. Next action item is 14.2, personnel, classified personnel action items. So this one doesn't affect our speakers. Okay. Action item 14.2, personnel, classified personnel action items. So I have a motion. Trustee Stafford, Trustee Nelson, please vote. And action item 14.2 has been approved 4-0. Next item is also a personnel action item 14.3, resolution number 28/1718, notice of reduction in workday layoff of classified management positions for the 18-19 school year. In order to, right, this is management, okay. Sorry, I just want to make sure that we don't approve something. Okay, do I have a motion, please?
This one's for management?
This is for management. Yeah. Trustee Garcia? Trustee Nelson. Action item 14.3, that is the notice of reduction in work day layoff of classified management position, has been approved. 3 in favor and 1 opposed. Okay. We move to our next action item 14.4, personnel. Resolution number 341718, notice of reduction of workday, layoff of classified unit members for the 18-19 school year. I just have a question in terms of the procedures. Can we discuss and talk about this before making the motions, or do we make the motions first? Okay. We need to make a motion, right, in order to discuss it. Okay. Do I have a motion? Trustee Stafford, Trustee Nelson. Okay. So now we are open for discussion for this Board of Trustees. I would like to say that at this point I have several questions that have arose from new information that we are receiving. I really would like to analyze in more depth this action item. It is my understanding that by procedural requirements, we cannot reconsider this immediately in closed session. That is my understanding, right? That's correct. That's something that I would like to have done. So what I proposing, just to go to the point, and then we are going to listen your comments. I'm proposing to this Board of Trustees to transfer this decision to, let's wait until next month, and then we get more information. We look at options, what other options we have, in order to make the right decision. I know that we have to make hard decisions, but I want to make those decisions with the right information, with the proper knowledge, that is the last option. We are talking about people. At the end of the day, trustee members of the Perris Union High School District, we are just that, people, right? And we need to treat our people with compassion, with understanding. And when I hear about $800, $900 a month, that's what they are fighting for. I'm not saying that the decision is going to be one way or the other one, but we need to make the effort to see if we have any other options so we can make the right decision. I know that we cannot get in details in the public session about specifics, right? But that's what I want to propose to you. If you agree, we can vote. But I would like to know your position. That we are talking not only about our employees, we are talking about their families, kids, right? Relatives, and most importantly, our staff is a human beings, people who have been here for 14, 20 years, who have been doing that. So that being said, I open for comments for other board members.
Listening to the staff and appreciating them very much, having worked with them for many years, I feel that we should look to identify other options and other ways where we can cut and see if we have waste in areas. I don't believe and that this is the right thing to do at this time. considerations have to be made for just, there are other ways we can cut and things that we can postpone, that we can possibly come up with a plan to maintain everyone's position. But we really need to study it in depth along with the superintendent, and I don't feel I have all the facts that I need to make this decision. But we have a procedural situation here, so without telling you what my vote is going to be, I just feel we need to consider looking at some other ways to save money and to make cuts.
Anybody else?
So obviously, those of you know me, I tend to say things from emotion. I feel for you. I too am an activist. I too am CSEA. I understand where you're coming from, and I agree with my colleagues here that some of the information you told us is not all the information I feel we knew. And to go in more depth would be most appropriate. You know, so I'm going to ask that, even though we're talking about just gathering information, I'm going to ask that we have an investigation on wasteful spending. And I think it's imperative you all understand that we understand. We hear you, we're listening. Sometimes we can't speak about it because, you know, the laws that govern us, and, you know, everyone here understands that. But like I said, I say things that are blunt, and I'm trying to hold it in right now because I feel you. I've been there. And not only do I ask that we all vote and ask for an investigation, but I think it'd be appropriate to delay this till next month.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Garcia. I know that the staff are going to be waiting for an answer, and that there is they're going to be anxious, nervous. So if at any point we can get the information and look into this in more depth, and I agree with the investigation as soon as possible. And if we need to call for a special board meeting, let's don't wait until next month, because I think they deserve that we focus on addressing the issue. Okay? One of them mentioned something that is really important, that people take notes and things like that and talk, but sometimes they don't see action. I'm telling the community and all the stakeholders of Perris Union High School District, and at the personal level, and I believe that's we share from my colleagues, board members, that we are not like that. We act. We look at things. We investigate. Past are the times, the years 10, 15 years ago, where the board members, they were just rubber stamps, and they then ask questions, clarifying things to make sure that we are making the right decisions, right? And getting information, and thank you to the cabinet for providing that information that many times we have addressed the issues. So they are really good at providing that, and I'm sure that this is not going to be the exception, where we are going to look in depth at this situation. So we are going to, well, the district is going to let you know, but I'm willing, and I don't know if my colleague board members, so if there is a special meeting, because the next one is June 20, right? June 22nd. Oh, June 4th. Oh, okay. So it's like 3 weeks, right? I was thinking about June 20 is like more than a month. Yeah, I didn't want to wait for that, but June 2nd, it seems kind of reasonable. Trustee Garcia.
Is this where, right here, right now, is this where we ask the specifics of what we want in the investigation? Would this be the time, or is that a later time, closed session, or? Okay, so a couple things I would definitely want to know. I want to know about wasteful spending in regards to food services and management, the decisions that they're making, and someone mentioned over 100 lunches on a day. I want those stats, please. I also want to know about the verbal abuse from management to the classified, because that's not clear. Because in my eyes, if we're cutting classified and we have bad management, in my eyes, and I voiced myself before, we could cut the management and fix that. Okay, I can't think of anything else at the top of my head of what other details I want in regards to the investigation. Maybe a full audit would probably be best appropriate. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. I really appreciate your comments, and I want to take this opportunity that it is important that we have that communication with the high levels of the district office in terms of situations that you see at the workplace that it can be improved. Please let them know. They are very conscientious in the experience and the act of them when there are situations like Trustee Garcia mentioned. They will act on that because that is our philosophy. And I expand this invitation to let us know and let them know about situations that they might not be right. And I share this with Ms. Mueller, with Ms. Steinmack also, because we need to know. We need to know. We have seen things happening at school sites and independently of who it is, okay? And we have acted upon that, and you are seeing, we cannot get into personnel situations, but you are seeing that the actions, it's public knowledge, and it's on the agenda, right? Related to management or administration. But I want the understanding that we are here to do what is right. That is our commitment. And sometimes if it doesn't matter if he's an administrator or he's a certificated Ms. Mueller or he's a Ms. Steinbach, a classified, we are going to look into that, right? And we are going to act to do what is right, independently of what is the kind of support. That is our promise. That is our commitment to our community and to our students, because our students deserve the best, and they deserve that we act with honesty, with integrity, and that we are completely transparent. And we don't have anything to hide unless we are not allowed to share, right? It's not that we are hiding anything, but there are some issues that we cannot share by law, right? Personnel issues mostly, that we cannot do that. But please, you have access to our emails. It's online, and my promise to you is one thing, right? At least for me, right? Look in depth into the situation, and three things can happen. That we can say, okay, we look into that. That is right. How I didn't think about it, right? And it can be a suggestion. We are not talking only about something negative, right? Even about something positive, right? Excellent idea. The second one, you know what? I look into that, and we are going to make this modification, right? And the third one, you know, I look into that, and we are going to continue to do this, right? So I want to say that because sometimes I remember when I was, and I was here, I was assistant principal at Pinacate Middle School, and I asked for input during a LAC meeting, and a parent, a male parent, he was really upset because he said, why are you asking for my input? If I ask you to do something that the school needed to do something, and that didn't happen, right? And he wanted to start the classes at 10 in the morning, right? That's what was his recommendation. And he was upset. He didn't want to communicate more. And that's when I explained it. From then I started explaining that when I get the input from something positive or to make a change, we take that in consideration, okay? So please, let us know. We want to know, because how can we change? How can we look at things if we don't have knowledge about that? Okay? 10.4, we have, okay, we have a motion. Okay, I'm making the motion to, okay. Tony, okay. Okay, go ahead, Tony, make the motion. For next month. you say that.
Okay, I would like an amendment to the motion and pull it from the, what is the action item? It was just a motion to vote. We couldn't discuss it until we had the
Yes,
motion. So,
We needed
okay.
to make the motion, yeah. Okay, okay. So do we need to, okay,
It's pulled.
we need to vote, right, on his motion?
You can't vote.
On the, during the LCAP meeting? Yeah, okay, that's fine, the sooner the better. As long as we have the information by then.
June 4th is fine, Lori. Okay.
Okay, do we vote? Okay.
So I want to be clear. That's if we have the information, right? For the investigation.
Yes, exactly.
If they don't have the information, then they'll push it. We can get a special meeting or.
Yeah, we can, yeah,
Fair enough?
yeah, we need to vote.
You need to vote on to move it
To
to the floor.
the floor, yes. Okay, so Tony makes the motion, somebody second.
I'll say. Well, I think it's already been said.
Trustee Nelson seconded. Okay, he'll second it
I'll
again.
second a second time.
Okay. We are going to vote by hand, right, or do we do the computer? The computer? Or by hand? Yeah, by hand, right? Yes, because this one, I want to make very sure, because then we are going to vote on this, and officially is going to be approving it, right? Okay. Okay, all those in favor to approve the motion that trustee Starford made to transfer the meeting to June 4th, if we have all the information. Yeah. If not, it's going to be whatever number of days. We are even willing to come to a special board meeting. All in favor, say aye. 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 So this motion has been approved 4-0. You're welcome. The next item is an action item, 14.5, personnel, short-term assistance for school site libraries. Did you not take? Oh, okay. Do I have a motion? Trustee Nelson. Trustee Garcia, Trustee Stafford, sorry. Please vote. And this action item, 14.5, has been approved 4-0. Next action item, 14.6, personnel, approval of memorandum of understanding between the Paris Union High School District and the California School Employee Association and its chapter Paris Valley 469 regarding health and welfare benefits. Do I have a motion? Trustee Nelson. Trustee Garcia seconds. Please vote. Action item 14.6 has been approved 4-0. Action item 14.7 is curriculum 2017-2018 Safe Schools Plan Annual Update. Do I have a motion? Trustee Garcia, Trustee Nelson? No, Trustee Stafford? Okay, sorry. Please vote. Action item 14.7 has been approved 4-0. 14.8 is an action item also, curriculum, out-of-state conference request for Julie Cyril, Director of Curriculum and Instruction, to attend the Native American Student Advocacy Institute 2018 in Honolulu, Hawaii from June 6 to June 8, 2018. Do I have a motion?
Can you finish reading that so everybody else can hear the rest?
Yes, categorical funds, not the general fund. Do you want me to, everything? Okay. Trustee Nelson. Trustee. Yeah, let let me ask, who was second? I seconded. He seconded. I have Nelson and Trustee Garcia. Now we can discuss it. Yeah, go ahead.
I think the last information we had from Dr. Salcido was it was partially paid by us and not fully funded by this. Wasn't that the last statement you made in the meeting?
Part of it was paid for by the consortium, and the rest of it was through the grant. So none of it's from the general fund.
Okay, but
Okay.
oh. Well, we just redirecting it to a purpose that was more directly to the students is what was my concern. And that it was properly spent. And anyway, that's just my concern. And everybody vote their minds. So.
My opinion is, even though we are not using general fund money, general funding, but there is money from the grant, but we can spend that money in something else for our students and not use money from the general fund. Is that correct? Does that make sense, Ms.? I'm looking at you to see if what I'm saying makes sense, right? And then we can use that money from the general fund, right? If it's, let's say, I guess the ticket to Hawaii will be close to $800. Right? I don't know. That is at least 1 month of an employee. So my recommendation, my position is not right time. If we are looking at the financial constraints that we have, and one more time, even though it's grant money, but with that grant money, we can use it for something that we don't have to use the general fund. And the general fund can be used for something else. So that's my comment. Anyone? Trustee Garcia? Trustee Nelson? Okay. Okay, so please vote. Do you want to add something, sir? Action item 14.8, curriculum out of state conference, request for Julie Cyril to go to Hawaii. Is not approved because we have a tie, right? We have to have at least 3, yes. So 14.8 is 2 in favor and 2 against. Therefore, as a consequence, is not approved. We move forward with the next action item, 14.9, that is business. Approval of health and welfare benefit increase for management employees, confidential employees, and board members, and converting to a 2-tier premium structure. Do I have a motion? Trustee Nelson? Second? Trustee Garcia? Before we vote, any comments, questions? I have a question. Yeah, we have an increase for management employees, confidential, but I understand that is in terms of health insurance, and we are converting from a 2-tier premium structure. And it's my understanding that actually that is going to save money, right?
Yeah.
If we go that way. So it's not that it's increasing that. I just want to make sure that it's not increasing, that it's not that I'm going to get more benefit, because that is going to be part of it's going to influence my decision.
No, so similar to the items on the CMI agenda, as well as the previous agenda item with CSEA, of course, we reached an MOU with them because they're a bargaining unit. So what we did is we restructured
the benefits. Now, we do plan in the budget to spend, because PSEA has a different benefit structure in terms of their cap increases. Well, so long as the premiums increase every year, then so does their cap, because the district pays 80%, the employee pays 20%. So what we do when we can, of course, sometimes there were recession years when we couldn't do this, is we look at how much more the district is contributing on a per FTE full-time equivalency basis. That's $387, and then we apply that equitably to all of the employee groups. So like we did for CMI and CSCA and so forth.
This is the same plan as CSEA?
Same plan.
It's not the same plan as CSCA because they chose something different. They had different goals in terms of, wanting to make healthcare more affordable for singles who were subsidizing families. And so they also were on a super composite, moving to a 2-tier. Management, confidential, and board is currently on a 3-tier, 3 cap, moving to a 2-tier premium and a 3-tier cap, with the goal of decreasing the out-of-pocket expenses for families who were paying a very large amount. So we took that savings that we received from the premiums along with the planned increase to achieve that goal.
Okay. Any questions on that? Okay, I just wanted to make sure that it didn't imply any extra expense. Okay, so please vote. And action item 14.9 has been approved 4-0. Next item, information item 15.1, curriculum, revised course, advanced floral design, meets A through E requirements. Next item, information item 15.2, business, revolving cash report for the month of April 2018. 15.3, information item, board policies, community relations, series 1000. Information item 15.4, board policies, business and non-instructional operations, series 3000. 15.5 is an information item, board policies, students, series 5000. 15.6, board policies, instruction, series 6000. And the last item is 16.1. Well, no, it's not the last item. Let me take that back. 16.1, closed session if necessary. Yes, I think Mr. Stauffer and I, we have some items for closed session. Yeah. Oh, after we come back from closed session, right? Okay. Okay, so do I have a motion? Trustee Garcia, Trustee Stauffer. Please vote. Okay. This action item 16.1 has been approved 4-0, and this Board of Trustees goes to closed session at 7:58 p.m. Okay, this Board of Trustees reconvene in public session at 9:15 p.m. Information items 18.1, other items by the superintendent.
No other items this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Information item 19.1, other items by the Board of Trustees. Trustee Stauffer? Trustee Nelson? Trustee Garcia?
No, my audience is gone.
Okay. Last item, action item 20.1. Do I have a motion to adjourn this regular board meeting? Trustee Garcia, Trustee Nelson, please vote. I should have used 914, right? Okay, this action item 20.1 has been approved 4-0, and this board meeting is adjourned at 9:16 p.m.